Time now for a look at the day's top business news, and we're going to start with a look at the major overhaul at Facebook. The company is trying to move past a string of data privacy scandals. To tell us more, here's Brian Quinn, our business editor. Brian.
CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced a major redesign for the world's top social network at its annual developer conference. At the heart of the changes, a new focus on privacy, as Facebook starts to look past advertisements for revenue, with new users drying up in the US and Europe. Analysts, though, also pointing to mounting criticism and government investigations after a series of data privacy scandals. Shirley Sitbon has the details.
Facebook will soon look like this: no blue, all white and clean, as Mark Zuckerberg puts it. But the real change is that social media will now focus on private messaging, encrypting conversations to make users feel more secure.
I know that we don't exactly have the strongest reputation on privacy right now, to put it lightly.
Because in recent years, Facebook has been criticized for not protecting its users' privacy, sharing information belonging to millions with political consulting firm Cambridge Analytica in one scandal. Propaganda was poured onto its platform. But going private means the company will have to review its revenue sources. Last year, almost all of its $56 billion revenue came from targeted ads.
Clearly, if businesses and Facebook has less access to information about people because they're communicating in a private environment, that makes it harder to deliver targeted advertising, and that's what Facebook's business is built upon. So there's questions ahead.
To potentially replace some of that ad revenue, Mark Zuckerberg outlined new e-commerce tools allowing to buy easily directly through Facebook and its apps. Facebook is being investigated in several cases over its data and privacy practices. The company says it expects the U.S. Federal Trade Commission to fine it up to $5 billion over privacy violations.
That's Shirley Sitbon there. Well, next, trade talks between the U.S. and China continue Wednesday as high-level representatives meet in Beijing for the 10th round of negotiations aimed at ending the two countries' bruising trade war. China's massive industrial subsidy program at the top of the agenda for U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer. Both sides have touted progress, with Chinese Vice Premier Liu He set to travel to Washington for yet another round of talks next week. Donald Trump has said he hopes to have a final deal within a month. Trump has reportedly dropped one of his central demands, that being strong provisions against Chinese theft of U.S. trade secrets, in the interest of getting that deal signed. Onto the markets. Most major stock exchanges close Wednesday for May Day. One exception, London. The FTSE 100 opening up over 0.25% as investors look ahead to the next interest rate decision from the U.S. Federal Reserve later in the day. Commodities exchanges open in the U.S. and the U.K. as well. Oil prices spiked earlier as tensions in Venezuela boiled over. They have, however, since settled a bit. Brent crude back under $72 a barrel, right around $71.50. WTI down over 1% as U.S. stockpiles are on the rise. Here in France, supermarket giant Auchan has announced plans to sell or close 21 of its locations. Management says a job-saving plan will be put in place, but over 700 positions are now at risk. The company lost over €1 billion last year, with revenues down 1.3% in France alone. It says it's confronted with unprecedented changes in the marketplace and an extremely difficult economic situation.
We're seeing a proliferation of much more specialized food retailers who aren't trying to satisfy everyone, but rather target specific markets, be it organic or discount shops.
Well, finally for business, Barack and Michelle Obama's new career as TV and film producers is keeping them plenty busy. The Obamas' Higher Ground Productions announced its slate of new projects Tuesday as part of a content deal with Netflix. Among the productions, an adaptation of best-selling finance writer Michael Lewis's book, The Fifth Risk, that a highly critical examination of the Trump administration's effect on key U.S. government agencies. No doubt an objective, clear-eyed look at that, I'm sure.
I'm sure as well, Brian. Thanks a lot for that business update, Brian Quinn, our business editor there.